Hey there, guys and gals. So, what you should have done already is you should have talked about the quote, plants are more deadly than animals. You should have been able to look at a specimen already of a plant or some grass and filled in the plant prediction chart. We should have already had a conversation also about the plant prediction chart and talked about some other things about photosynthesis and where photosynthesis happens, where does it start, what are the components of photosynthesis, what does photosynthesis need to function. So now what you're going to do is we are going to talk about the actual plant parts. Okay? So your plants all have these same basic parts, all the same basic structures. Okay? So what I have here is a drawing. Of course, you can see the drawing underneath it, right? I had to draw it first. So what we have here is a basic plant structure, okay? The first part of a plant, of course, is going to draw a seed. It's going to come from a seed, right? Everybody knows that. You all know that, and we're watching those plant bags grow, right? So the first thing we have are our roots, okay? You can be drawing this while you're waiting for me to talk again. Okay, so our first part, these are our roots. Okay? And what do the roots do? We've talked about this in soil science, remember when we were talking about the different parts of soil? Very good. They are going to hold the plant. In place. So not only does the plant get held in place, the soil gets held in place so we don't have erosion, right? Well, they also are going to take in water and nutrients from the ground, from the soil. Now, where do those nutrients come from? Anybody remember? Good job. I thought that's what I heard you say. I heard you say they come from decomposed animals and plants. Fantastic. Okay. So the next part of our plant is the stem. Okay. And what that stem does, that stem holds up this plant so that it can reach up to the sun, so that it can get the sun for its photosynthesis, right? Everybody remember that? Okay? So our stem. This holds the plant upright. And then the leaf has an attachment, which is also part of the stem. And this attaches the leaf to the main stem. And it holds it toward the sun. Okay? Holds it toward the sun. This does one more thing. This is going to move water, nutrients, and food throughout the plant. Kind of ran out of room there, didn't I? Okay? So the stem is going to hold the plant upright. It is also can I read that better now? At this point, if you need to read that and pause it, you can do so. Okay. So the next part we're going to talk about, these are the leaves, okay? And what those leaves do, this is where the photosynthesis happens, okay? These leaves are full of chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is where photosynthesis happens. That's the green color in a plant, is the chlorophyll. So in the stem, we have what are called phloem and xylem, okay? And that phloem and xylem is what carries those water, nutrients, and food up and down this plant, okay? And into these leaves, and into this flower, and down into these roots, okay? Now, this chlorophyll is where the photosynthesis happens, okay? So our leaves okay, this is the leaf, oops, makes the food for the plant. Through what? What's that called? Correct, by photosynthesis. And in photosynthesis, you need water. Actually, let's put need here. Need water, carbon dioxide, CO2, you've heard me say that word before, those letters before, and what's the last one? Ah, very good. This bright old sunlight up here, right? Okay, so every plant needs those things to survive, okay? So I have a question for you. What would happen if it didn't have those things? Pondering minds, right? So, the last part, actually kind of the last part, it all comes from the last part. So, the last part of our plant is going to be the flower. So, when you finish this, your next assignment is going to be looking at a flower. And what is so special about a flower? Okay? So, flowers are actually very important. And the funny thing is, sometimes you don't even really know that plants have flowers. Grass, did you know grass has a flower? If you let it grow long enough, it'll have a flower. Sure will. So, the flower so this is the reproductive part of the plant. And this is what makes the seeds to make new plants. Okay? The reproductive part of a plant that makes seeds for new plants. Okay? Make seeds for new plants. So then the middle of this flower, typically it's in the middle. In our flower, it's in the middle. Okay? So, the middle of this flower, this is where the seeds come from. Okay? And don't forget, when you finish this, you have to go to your science source book and draw and label and read about flowers. Okay? So, the seed, let me put little seed looking things in here. Okay? And remember, seeds don't form until a flower has bloomed. Okay? So our seeds here. Okay. So the seed is a structure produced by the plants that contains a tiny undeveloped plant. Okay? And not only that, but what the seed also does, it supplies food for the young seedling. Okay? Till it can start producing food on its own using photosynthesis. Okay? That's what that seed does. Okay? Now, there is one specialized seed. Anybody have a clue what that seed might be? We eat them. Very good. Whoever said fruit is so smart. So we have a specialized seed called a fruit. Okay? So a specialized seed with flesh that can be eaten. Okay? So, let's get some, go ahead and zoom in so y'all can see those a little better. Okay? So, a seed, a structure that's produced by the plant that contains a tiny undeveloped plant. Okay? That plant is still inside that seed. Okay? Not only that, but the seed also supplies the food for that young seedling. Okay? Before, right as it's sprouting, it's got to have food, and it can't make its own because it doesn't have any leaves yet, right? Okay? And then, what happens if we have fruits and vegetables? A fruit is a specialized seed. This is a seed that's got flesh on it and that can be eaten. It can be eaten by humans. It can be eaten by other animals. Okay? So that little seed inside of there, like an apple, it's got like 8 to 10 seeds inside of it, right? Okay? So, then this flower, this is the reproductive part of the plant that makes the seeds for the new plants. Okay? So then let's go to this bottom half. Can y'all see all that? Oh, nope, you can't see leaf over here. Okay? So, then we have our leaf, which makes the food for the plant, and we use and it uses photosynthesis for that. Okay? And in photosynthesis, it's going to need water, it's going to need some CO2, and it's going to need some sunlight, right? And where does all energy start? Very good. I knew y'all were so smart. So then we have the stem, which this is what holds the plant upright, and it also is the leaf attached. It also has the leaves. The leaf stem is what attaches to the main stem, and it holds it toward the sun. You know, those leaves want to go up and up and up, right? Okay. Then the stem also is going to move that water up and down and into this flower, into these roots, into this leaf. Okay, because these leaves making this food, right? This food's got to get down here to these roots, right? Very good. So, then we have the roots, which aid in erosion. Good job. Good job. Okay? These roots aid in decrease in erosion. Okay? And not only does it decrease erosion, but it also holds that plant up in the air, right? So the sun can reach the leaves, so the flower can bloom, right? See how this all works together as a system? Okay? And then not only that, but the roots are going to take that water and those nutrients from the soil to help that plant grow too. Okay? So that's all for your plant parts and function. Okay? Okay? Remember, you can pause this at any point to write down anything you're missing. Don't forget that this needs to go into your science journal. And then when you finish your science journal, you need to make sure and grab your science source book. Oh, I'm wrong. You should have done the flower already. So, your flower should be done, so now you should have all the parts and functions of a plant, rather. Okay? And then we have a photosynthesis chant. So we'll do that when you finish this video. Come see me and we will learn the chant together. Talk to y'all later. Bye.